Pleased to have Calais Campbell, new to that Jacksonville defense, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Calais?
Hey, life is good, especially when we win like that.
I bet. Before we get into your side of things, I got to talk about this kid Fournette. I mean, we had him on the show before the season, and I thought special things were going to happen, obviously seeing him at LSU, and now we've seen his first 5 games as a professional. What is it like being on the sideline watching him run the football, Calais?
It's definitely special. We get excited seeing the way the O-line blocks for him and seeing the way he just falls forward. He's wise beyond his years.
But what about the attitude with which he runs?
Oh, man, it's so fierce, man. I love where he lowers the pad, but he's kind of shifty, too. He has a little bit of everything, and he's just developing. He's going to get a lot better as the season goes.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, if you were doing something else on the sideline, talking to your position coach, your teammates, but him coming around the end yesterday at one point and waving at Mike Mitchell essentially mid-run to come get some. Did you see that, Calais?
I did. I saw that. I did.
What's he thinking out there?
Hey, I love that mentality. It's like, yo, I see you coming. I want you to know you see me coming, and we'll see who the best man is when we meet in the middle.
I imagine nobody's ever waved at you to come get some, Calais, correct? In your profession?
No, that would be a mistake.
What did you guys say to him when he came back on the sideline after that?
I was just so hyped. Yeah, it was like, man, good run. That's it.
I mean, he is just really something else. Because I think that just sitting there watching it lights me up just sitting on a couch. What is it like for the team to see something like that in the midst of a big battle?
He brings a lot of energy to the team. He's a big personality. He loves the game. He's so passionate. And to see the way he plays the game, it's definitely motivating.
Calais Campbell.
Yes, by example.
Calais Campbell here on the Rich Eisen Show for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now let's get into what you guys did yesterday. How did you approach this, seeing it on film, seeing what you could do to Pittsburgh that few teams are able to do in that building, Calais?
Yeah, we knew we had a big challenge, but we knew that, we take away the run game and make them one-dimensional with our DBs and our pass rush. Something's got to give. And so, we did a good job staying focused and gap control and keeping Le'Veon bottled up. And then, we tried to put pressure on him. And, Big Ben is a great quarterback. He's made some big-time throws. But, when it came down to it, our DBs, took advantage of some of the ones that were 50-50 balls.
Well, I don't know if you heard Big Ben's comments after the game. It's been something that's been much discussed in the media and certainly in Western Pennsylvania, where it sounded like Ben was being somewhat sarcastic that he didn't have it anymore, perhaps. But in light of him in this offseason pondering retirement and then coming back, a lot of folks thought maybe there might be some truth to that. Did you, while you are playing against Ben Roethlisberger on Sunday, feel like you were playing against a quarterback who wasn't all there mentally?
No way. He was focused and tuned in. I think it was kind of just, he knows how the media is going to play 5 interceptions, no touchdowns, they're going to eat that up. So I think it's kind of just getting ahead of the bullet. But, on the football field, you saw the fire in his eyes, 5 minutes to go, down 2 scores, he's going to try to make something happen. And that drive was tough. He went down the field, and if it wasn't for, holding call, he made a big-time throw. I'm glad that we were able to get that holding call and then keep him out the end zone. But, I expect Big Ben to have a pretty huge season.
Now, I know the answer to this next question, but I'm asking it for those out there listening and watching this that might be begging this question. Would you know what a quarterback who's not mentally all there because perhaps he's thinking about retirement, would you know what that looks like during a game, playing against that quarterback?
I believe so. I do. It's a difference. You can see the fire in people's eyes, You can see that passion, love for the game. You can see that want to win. Big Ben still has that fire.
So he is not one of those quarterbacks that is actually thinking with one foot out the door while he's playing football.
Yeah, no, not in my opinion.
Okay. Calais Campbell, Jacksonville Jaguar defensive end, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. And we mentioned, obviously, Leonard Fournette. What about Jalen Ramsey and this defense and the passion he brings? How does that permeate your defensive group, Calais?
Oh, man, it drives us, knowing that those guys on the back end, locking guys down and giving us an extra second, up front. We rush a little harder, But then when they do throw the ball his way, you know that anytime he can come down with that ball, and he does such a good job, just getting the guys riled up and allowing us to play the game we want to play. I got a lot of respect for him.
How does this defense compare to others that you've been on in Arizona?
I think it's the most complete defense I've been a part of. I've been a part of some pretty good defenses, but for all levels, from the top to bottom, we're pretty stacked.
Well, I'm sure you know how the rest of the league feels about Jacksonville and how you got to see it to believe it over and over and over again. So let me ask you, how real is this team?
Oh, yeah. We definitely are real. I think the biggest thing is showing to ourselves that we can be consistent and we can do it week in and week out. But there's no doubt in anybody's mind now that when we put it together and we do it the right way, we can beat anybody.
So why is it so tough to be consistent?
In my opinion, I believe it's just being young, a lot of new pieces, and still trying to fill each other out. But now we're getting to that point in the season where we've got we got a chance to make our mistakes, and learn from them. And now we have to put our head down and grind. Yeah,
and now come the Rams into your house. They did lose yesterday, but we all know what this offense is like, and we also know who number 30 is coming downhill to come and hit you. Yeah. I mean, go for it. What do you think?
If I'm the Rams or any team, when you scout us, it's like, okay, we get the run game going, we got a chance, because the two teams that we lost to ran for a whole lot of yards. So I know Todd Gurley's, looking for opportunities, and so we're focused, trying to take away that run and make teams one-dimensional. But at the end of the day, it's a really good team coming in. You never want to lose two in a row. So to come off a loss, coming to a place that we want to make a hostile environment, we have to develop that home field advantage, and that's going to be huge for us going forward.
Calais Campbell, a couple more minutes with him here on the Rich Eisen Show. Congrats to your Canes beating Florida State right there.
Yeah.
Did you give Jalen Ramsey any grief for that?
Oh, what did I? I mean, before the game, I was trash talking him and Telvin Smith. After the game, I wouldn't shut up about it. It took us going to play the Steelers for me to shut up.
Did you hear Michael Irvin's reaction? Did you see it on Twitter, Calais?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I felt the exact same way. I just didn't record it.
What does it mean, I guess, for you? What does this victory mean to finally beat Florida State after 7 straight losses?
It's one game for me. It was huge. We needed that. I think it was more mental than it was anything else, because I think we've been a better team for the last couple of years, but we just couldn't get over that mental hurdle. And this year we did. It wasn't pretty. We definitely made a lot of mistakes, but, got it done.
Yeah. Calais, thanks for joining us after the win over Pittsburgh. Good luck against the Rams, and we'll chat with you down the line.
It sounds good. Always a pleasure.
You got it. At Campbell93 on Twitter.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon Eastern on radio stations across the country and audience.
If you like that, please download our app. There's lots of fun things there other than just more of the videos you just saw. You can call us from the app. You can email us from the app. Just download it. Trust me, you'll enjoy it.